A lot of us are exhausted online, but we don't know why. We can't fully explain the reason. But we are posting, we are sharing, we are showing up, but it still feels quite heavy and it still feels rushed creatively. Hey guys, this is the last video of my social media detox series. My mic has finitoed, but we move. And honestly, guys, I want to be really clear just before we start is that this video is in no way telling you to quit social media. That's not what I'm saying. You don't need to disappear. You don't need to announce anything if you don't want to. And you don't need to copy exactly what I did. This video is about learning how to tell the difference between being visible and needing space. And I think that's really, really key. And it's hard to identify that in today's online society. And because those two things feel very similar in your body, but actually they lead to completely different outcomes. And so it's really important to be super clear. A lot of us are exhausted online, but we don't know why. We can't fully explain the reason. But we are posting, we are sharing, we are showing up, but it still feels quite heavy and it still feels rushed creatively. And rest definitely in this era feels so uncomfortable. Like so many of us are struggling to just relax. Silence feels like you're falling behind. Like if I'm quiet, then opportunities wouldn't come to me. And especially if you're ambitious, creative, or neurodivergent, your brain literally doesn't shut off. It doesn't shut off because you close the app. So it's really important for me to say this clearly, is that really isn't laziness. That is definitely overstimulation. And it took me a while to understand when I would feel overstimulated. And because I was so online and so had access to everything, I couldn't really tell how I was feeling. We're taught that visibility equals relevance. And I've said this before, I'm guilty of saying this myself. Trust me. That if you slow down, that you will lose momentum. And if you pause, you'll be forgotten. I've literally said this, it's so embarrassing. And if you're not consistent, you will start falling away. And that sounds logical and it sounds reasonable until it actually isn't. Because what no one wants to tell you is this: when consistency turns into self abandonment, it stops being strategy. Urgency isn't always ambition. Sometimes it's just anxiety in a productive outfit, and that's just the reality. So, let me share with you the difference that I had to learn. Urgency says, post now or you'll miss out. Agency says, I choose when and why I show up. Urgency creates reactively, and agency creates intentionally. Urgency performs, agency builds value. And when you're creating from urgency, it's you responding to the algorithm. And that's insane. And when you're creating from agency, you're responding to your life. And that's key. And that shift alone changes how everything feels. Even now, coming back to social media, it feels different because I am operating more from a place of value than a place of urgency and reactivity. And this part really matters. And if posting feels compulsive and not intentional, you might need space. And if inspiration has turned to pressure, you might need boundaries. You're visible but disconnected, you might not need more reach. Okay, you might need anchoring. So stepping back doesn't mean you are quitting, actually. Be honest, it doesn't mean that at all. It can actually look like posting less or creating offline first or choosing strategy over speed or letting ideas mature before you actually share them. And that can be really powerful. Not everything needs an audience whilst it's becoming. It's just so. And some things need privacy before they're ready for visibility. And I really do think that if we are allowing ourselves to move in this way, then we can actually move more in more fulfillment. And the reason why I can say this calmly now is because I've lived on both sides, right? I've done visibility, I've done being offline, I've done rebuilding from quiet. And what actually moved my life forward wasn't more exposure, okay? It was more discernment for sure. More discernment, more reflectiveness, and knowing exactly what my energy deserves. And I really hope that this inspires you, and to help you understand that you don't need to disappear to change your life. I mean, if you do want to, I ain't gonna say no, but sometimes the most powerful move is not doing more, but choosing better. And if this video gave you permission to breathe or to slow the pace even slightly, to trust your body, to trust what your body's actually telling you, then that means you're already listening to yourself, and that feels good. Um, and honestly, that's where clarity starts. So thank you so much for watching this video. This is the end of my social media detox series. I had fun. I hope you had fun too. And make sure you subscribe to my channel for more experiences with Ebs.